What if I told you there's a ghost town in Turkey with 700 Disney castles, and not a single person living in them? Across the planet, billions of dollars sit frozen in concrete tombs. Megaprojects so ambitious, they collapsed under their own weight. From North Korea's Hotel of Doom to China's fake Paris, these aren't just construction failures. They're monuments to hubris, economic collapse, and spectacular miscalculation. Some cost over $1 billion. Others displaced thousands. All of them promised to change the world. Instead, they became the world's most expensive ruins. Here are the top 10 abandoned mega projects that swallowed billions, and the shocking reasons they failed. Project 10, Arena da Amazônia, Manaus. Deep in the Brazilian Amazon sits a $300 million World Cup stadium that almost nobody uses. In 2014, Brazil spent billions hosting the World Cup. They built this 44,000-seat arena in Manaus, a city with no major soccer team and surrounded by jungle. The plan? Turn it into a tourist destination. The reality? After 4 World Cup matches, it hosts maybe a dozen games per year. Annual maintenance costs, $1.2 million. Average attendance, under 1,500 people. That's $800 per spectator, just to keep the lights on. But here's where it gets darker. Project 9, Nicaragua Canal. In 2013, Nicaragua announced a $50 billion plan to rival the Panama Canal, backed by a mysterious Chinese billionaire. Wang Jing promised to revolutionize global shipping. The canal would stretch 172 miles, displace 29,000 people, and slice through a pristine lake, providing water to millions. Construction began in 2014. Environmentalists warned of ecological catastrophe. Indigenous communities protested. Then Wang Jing's fortune mysteriously evaporated in China's stock market crash. By 2018, the project was dead. Total spent, over $1 billion. Miles of canal completed, 0. The only evidence? Scars across the landscape and displaced families who lost their homes for nothing. Project 8. Goldin Finance. 117. Look up in Tianducheng, China, and you'll see the world's tallest abandoned building. 117 stories of broken dreams. When construction started in 2008, Goldin Finance 117 was designed to be China's second tallest skyscraper, a gleaming symbol of economic power. Developer Pan Su-tong spent over $1.5 billion before everything collapsed. But here's what they don't tell you. Pan was hemorrhaging money on Macau casinos. In 2015, construction stopped. In 2021, he was arrested. Now it stands 97% complete, a 597-meter tombstone to financial recklessness. Local developers say finishing it would cost another $1 billion. Nobody's interested. Engineers warn the incomplete structure could become a safety hazard. But tearing it down, that might cost even more. Project 7, Wonderland Amusement Park, Beijing. Just outside Beijing, there's a theme park that makes Disney look like a small-town carnival, except nobody ever rode a single ride. In 1998, developers broke ground on Wonderland, meant to be the largest amusement park in Asia. Investment, $1 billion. The vision was spectacular. Medieval castles, roller coasters, a moat. Think Disney meets the Great Wall. Then developers hit a wall. Literally, land disputes with local farmers. The government stepped in, construction stopped, and investors fled. For over a decade, it sat frozen, a surreal wasteland of rusting scaffolding and concrete fantasies. Scientists couldn't explain what happened next. Actually, they could. In 2013, authorities demolished it. Now it's just farmland again, the most expensive crop field in China. Project 6, Hashima Island, Japan. From space, it looks like a battleship. Up close, it looks like the apocalypse. Hashima Island was once the most densely populated place on Earth. In the 1950s, 5,000 people lived on this 16-acre rock, mining coal beneath the ocean floor. Mitsubishi built everything: high-rise apartments, schools, hospitals, even a movie theater. It was a self-contained city, 9 stories tall. Then, petroleum replaced coal. In 1974, Mitsubishi closed the mine. Within days, every single person left. Forever. Today, typhoons slowly tear it apart. UNESCO called it a heritage site. But here's the controversy. South Korea and China demand Japan acknowledge the Korean and Chinese forced laborers who died there during World War II. Japan refuses. Now tourists pay to walk its decaying streets. A $500 million ghost town, frozen in 1974. Project 5, the Great Mosque of Djenne, Mali. This one's different. It wasn't abandoned by choice. The Great Mosque of Djenne is the largest mud brick building on Earth, and every year the entire town replasters it by hand in a massive festival. For centuries, it was Mali's crown jewel. UNESCO World Heritage Site. Thousands of tourists annually brought millions in revenue. Then, in 2012, Islamic militants seized northern Mali. They destroyed priceless manuscripts in Timbuktu. UNESCO panicked and closed Djenne to outsiders to protect it. Tourism collapsed overnight. The town's economy imploded. The mosque still stands, but the community that maintained it for 800 years can barely survive. Annual maintenance costs, $100,000. Current funding, a fraction of that. Without tourism revenue, the world's greatest mud structure is slowly washing away. Cost to save it, estimated $2 million. Will anyone pay? The silence is deafening. Project 4, Tianducheng, China. There's a full-scale Eiffel Tower in China, and there's a Champs-Élysées and Versailles fountains, and absolutely nobody was there. Tianducheng was built to house 10,000 people in a perfect replica of Paris. Developers spent $1 billion. When it opened in 2007, they thought Chinese elites would rush to live in Paris of the East. Current population, around 2,000. Occupancy rate, 20%. The problem? It's an hour from Hangzhou. There are no jobs, and most apartments cost more than actual Paris. The only thriving business? Wedding photography. Couples pay to take photos under the fake Eiffel Tower rather than fly to France. It's not technically abandoned, just spectacularly, expensively, perpetually empty. Project 3, Buzludzha Monument, Bulgaria. On a Bulgarian mountaintop sits something that looks like an alien spacecraft crashed and died. In 1981, Bulgaria's Communist Party spent $35 million, equivalent to nearly $200 million today, building this massive concrete monument to socialism. Inside were breathtaking murals celebrating workers, cosmonauts, and communist triumph, the largest mosaic in the Balkans. Then 1989 happened. The Soviet Union fell. Bulgaria wanted to forget. By 1991, it was sealed shut. No maintenance, no protection. For 30 years, weather and vandals destroyed it. The roof leaks, mosaics fall, ice forms inside every winter. Restoration estimate, $20 million. Bulgarian government's response: they've actively tried to demolish it multiple times. But international architects call it a masterpiece of brutalist design. The battle over its future continues while it literally crumbles. Project 2, Burj Al Babas, Turkey. Remember those Disney castles from the opening? This is where dreams go to die, in bulk. Burj Al Babas, 587 identical luxury chateaux, built for Middle Eastern buyers who never came. Each castle cost $400,000 to build. Price tag to buyers, $1 million. Total project cost, $1.2 billion. Developer Sarot Group bet wealthy Gulf Arabs would buy vacation homes in rural Turkey. They sold 350 villas. Construction began. Then everything collapsed. Turkey's currency crashed in 2018. The lira lost 40% of its value. Foreign buyers vanished overnight. Sarot declared bankruptcy with $27 million in debt. Construction stopped 90% complete. Windows uninstalled, roads unpaved. Now it sits frozen. A surreal suburban dystopia where every house is a palace and every palace is empty. They've tried auctioning it, no takers. Here's the cruel irony. This is in one of Turkey's poorest regions. People need affordable housing. Instead, they got 587 mock French chateaux nobody wants. Project 1, Ryugyong Hotel, Pyongyang, North Korea. The Hotel of Doom. 33 years under construction. 0 guests, 0 functioning rooms. Cost over $2 billion. In 1987, North Korea decided to build the tallest hotel in the world, a middle finger to South Korea's growing prosperity. The Ryugyong Hotel, 105 stories, 330 meters tall, 3,000 rooms. It would prove North Korean superiority. They spent 2% of North Korea's entire GDP. Construction raced ahead. Then, in 1992, the Soviet Union collapsed. Funding evaporated, materials stopped arriving, workers went home. For 16 years, it stood as an incomplete concrete shell, the world's tallest abandoned building, visible from everywhere in Pyongyang. But here's what nobody expected. In 2008, an Egyptian company installed glass panels. North Korea proclaimed completion was imminent. By 2012, the exterior looked finished. State media promised grand opening soon. That was 13 years ago. Engineers who've studied it say the concrete is likely crumbling inside. The foundation may not support the weight. Elevators reportedly don't work. Electrical systems never completed. North Korea now uses it for propaganda, projecting light shows on the exterior during celebrations. Inside, probably empty floors of concrete and darkness. Cost so far, estimated $2 to $3 billion in a country where people starve. It's not just the most expensive abandoned project. It's a 330-meter monument to authoritarian ego and economic delusion. They called it Capital of Willows. The world calls it the Hotel of Doom. Abandoned megaprojects, over $10 billion wasted. And these are just the ones we know about. From Turkey's fake castles, to North Korea's hotel, to nowhere, each represents the same toxic formula. Ambition without planning, ego without accountability, billions without oversight. But the real cost isn't just money. It's the homes demolished for Nicaraguan jungles, the workers unpaid at Goldin finance, the communities abandoned around Arena da Amazônia. $10 billion could have built 500 schools, or 50 hospitals, or housed 100,000 families. Instead, we got monuments to failure, concrete epitaphs to the dangers of unchecked ambition. These projects didn't fail because of bad luck. They failed because someone prioritized spectacle over substance ego over evidence, and legacy over logic. And right now, somewhere, someone is making the same mistakes. If you found this fascinating, there's a project you won't believe is actually succeeding against all odds. Drop a comment with Mega, and I'll cover it next. These are the monuments we leave behind when ambition blinds us to reality.